2 years ago, when I first went to this college, stayed in this building, discovering myself, there was a time where I knew no one. I didn't feel welcome. I didn't have friends. I didn't feel like I was a part of anything. I'm from Cali. I'm going to school in Indiana. I didn't know anybody. And I tried to make friends. And I couldn't. I couldn't find people like me. I couldn't find people who wanted what I wanted from school, from life. And I felt really lonely. And there was a time there's a time I vividly remember. I'll never forget this. That I went outside, and it was I went outside at night, and the grass was like wet. It was like raining type grass. And I just sat on the grass. Like, not sat as in like crisscross applesauce, like laid on the grass and just looked at the sky because I had nothing else to do. And I truly just felt low, like the lowest of low. I had headphones in, played a Slowed and Reverb playlist of, XXXTentacion, just a bunch of random artists, sad music, laid in the wet grass. I didn't care it was wet. I just wanted to feel. I wanted to feel something. And the cops actually came by, the police, thought checking in on me like, yo, what are you doing? Like, they thought I was dead because I'm just sitting there still, just laying in the grass. And like, cops came by, I had to explain like, no, I'm just vibing. I mean, I was vibing. That is true. I was vibing. And some kids came by and said like, why are you so down? Like, you shouldn't, like some, like, they were really concerned. And they're like, how are you okay? I'm like, like, usually I say yes, right? Usually it's like societally you say yes to that statement. And I remember like they asked me that question. I was just like, I couldn't even get myself to say yes. And I'll never forget, like, that was a really dark period of my life. It was 2021, back when I didn't have a beard. Maybe that had something to do with it, but it was a dark period. And I didn't feel like I knew anyone. I felt like I was on a path that nobody else was, and I felt lonely. And that's when I started this album. That's when I started working on a project to kind of talk about everything I felt lonely about, because I felt like I was doing a bunch of things that weren't paying off, weren't going anywhere. I just felt lost, and no one was there lost with me. I felt like I was the only person lost, and it just didn't mathematically make sense that I'd be the only person lost, but that's how I felt. And, there was a therapy application in one of the buildings that I was posted in, or where I study every now and then. And I was like, you know what? Therapy, it's free. It's like a part of a thing. Let's try it. So I went to therapy for the first time in that second semester, and just dealt with these emotions and learned a lot, tried to understand myself. Point I'm trying to say is here, the reason I'm saying this is I felt low. I felt like nothing was going to get me. I felt like, why life? Why would you do this to me? And why do I feel so alone? It's not about the sadness. It's not about what you're going through. It's the fact that you feel like you're the only one going through what you're going through. And I was sitting there like, why? When will this stop? And like, out of nowhere, just by staying patient and alive, I have friends who share my passions, interests, and I have more direction, more of an understanding of myself in 2 years, But there was a period in time where I felt like nothing would, like, I just was just bitter. I felt like the optimism in my brain was burned. It just was burned. It was on fire, and it was burning away. And I felt lonely. And, I'm tired of the social media stuff. I'm tired of the social media gimmicks, to be honest. I'm tired of it. Like, the whole, look how great my life is. I'm going to flex this, that. I'm having such a great time. When you're not. You're living just like the rest of us. And I saw how that affected me when I was in my dark phases. So I was like, what if we did the opposite? What if we just shared what we were going through? Shared the deep vulnerabilities, shared how broken we are instead of how fixed we are, how perfect we are. Would that have helped me? Would that have helped me get through the situation I got through in 2021 and early 2022 when I was trying to find myself? Would that have helped me? Because I can sit here and be like everybody else and talk about how good I am and how I'm better than everybody else, but that doesn't make you actually feel less alone and more confident, comfortable, and charismatic in your discovery of yourself. You know, like you have a different path than everyone else, and that's one of the scariest things to recognize as a human being, that you just have a different path. And either you will have to choose that different path or life will choose that path for you. And you will be forced out of that situation. And the reason I say all of this is because it's okay to feel alone, but I don't think it's okay to feel alone for feeling alone. And that's part of the reason I made this project. Like this project right here, I have never opened up about stuff I talk about in this project. Like you will judge me for so much here. There is... shows how weak I am, shows how like broken I am, shows my insecurities. I wear everything on my sleeve on this project, and it's not about me. Like, who cares? Who cares about Kid Rohan? And I don't mean that in like a mean way. No, seriously. I'm just a guy. I'm a rapper. But I'm also a guy with problems. And when at least when you feel like someone else got the same problems as you, then you're not like, you don't feel like you're like just burning alive on your own. You feel like someone's there burning. And at least, come on, the fire sharing, you're sharing the fire together. Maybe you can make some s'mores. But y'all are not alone in it. And look how broken I am. Look how I feel. And everything I've shown you in the past 2 years of positive shit, everything I've shown you in the past 2 years of positive shit is not false. I'm not saying it's false. But two things can be true. I could have done all this positive stuff and spread these messages and created these projects and made dozens and dozens of songs and done this, that while suffering with this stuff. And that's the point I'm trying to make, that first of all, what you go through doesn't define you. It doesn't mean you can't do this. I'm showing you that I was able to achieve all this, and probably people who don't know me well think I'd never go through anything like this. People who don't know me well don't know that I've gone through suicidal thoughts. They don't know that I've gone through, I mean, I wouldn't say periods of depression, but they wouldn't know I go through anxiety, phases of anxiety. They wouldn't know that I have OCD tendency. They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know any of that. They think I'm originating these thoughts, just I'm this and I can't be that. I can't have these other issues. And it's not about me. It doesn't matter about me. It's about you. If you ever feel alone, you have something. This album, this whole project is my problems. Here are my problems. It's not about me, but these problems are not just mine. I have them. Other people have them. If you feel like you're alone in this world, just remember you're not, because this whole track list is all about stuff I dealt with on my own. Like, this is all stuff I've felt alone with. And just know that loneliness is one of the most ironically common things that we as a society go through now. And if you feel alone, I don't want you to feel like there's something wrong with you, or you're not worthy, or just you're not enough. I don't want you to ever feel that way, because you have a lonely path if you're trying to find yourself. And that's completely okay. And I'm right here with you. It doesn't, like, I don't even have to be there. You just listen. You can play this project. It'll always be there for you. It'll always be on Spotify, SoundCloud. I don't care about the money. What will I make? $3? You know how the streaming services pay. I'll make $3 off this project. $3 maybe. Like, it doesn't matter the money. Pirate this. All right, well, don't pirate it, but okay, if you want to, yeah. But like, the money does not matter. Okay? Like, it's not about the money. The point is, for the rest of your life, you have something to listen to. You have something to feel not alone with whenever you feel alone. And that's why I created this. It will forever exist as long as I know it is out. It is available and is there for you when you need it. You don't got to listen to it now. It's not like a, hey, like you don't got to do that. You don't got to. If you don't want to, don't. But if you need it, it's there. I went through one of the darkest periods of my life making this. I've never told y'all what I just told y'all in this video, but I decided to tell it because, hey, I've felt alone before. It doesn't feel fun, but you're not alone. You may feel alone, but you're not. You're not. I'm right here with you, and I might not always be right here with you, but this album will. I love you all.